Hello, I am back for Moving Beyond Burnout. Are you someone who is booked, busy, and buried in work and feel like you cannot take a break? Well, I am going to talk all about that and some of my top ways that you can begin to integrate breaks into your daily life. So, I am Camesha Jones Brandon. I am a licensed clinical social worker, recovering workaholic, and burnout overcomer. Moving Beyond Burnout empowers Black women to cultivate self awareness and to develop practical pathways to overcome burnout for good. So, if you are joining me for the first time, please like this video. Please share this video if you're on LinkedIn, YouTube, or on Instagram. And please subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are trying to get to 300 subscribers by the end of this year. And I would love your help. In addition, you'll just know all the updates that that are coming out with Sista Afya and Moving Beyond Burnout. So happy to be back, you all. I went on a break. I purposely took off September and the early part of October. One, because my birthday's in October, but also because every quarter I try to take some form of a break from, whatever I'm doing. So that's why I've been gone all this time. And I thought, now that I'm back, how about I talk about breaks and how a break can be your breakthrough? So, what I have seen so much, especially when people are experiencing burnout or seasons of fullness and seasons of overwhelm, that they do not feel like they can rest or don't feel like they are in a position to take a break or to stop. And so, some people who may be watching this may be like, that doesn't make sense. Everybody can take a break at any time. And I get you, I understand you and your perspective. But for more people than probably you can imagine, taking a break may feel really, really difficult and hard to do. So I want to talk about like why you may feel like you can't take a break. So first, I wanted to find that a break is any pause or interruption into the daily way that you do things. So taking a break isn't always like taking a nap or sleeping or just sitting in silence. There are many ways that you can take various types of breaks in your life. But some of the reasons why people feel like they can't take a break is one, they have so many responsibilities. So I especially think about like our moms or, people who are very active and are involved in so many different things and have so many different commitments. So taking a break may mean that the ball gets dropped somewhere else. And so people who have high responsibilities, who have a lot of commitments, can feel like there's not opportunities to take a break. The other thing is just having really, really high standards that are honestly unrealistic. So committing and showing up and doing things that are really very hard for, the average person to do it. But for people who are workaholics, it can be very easy to have these standards of how you have to show up, what you have to do, how you need to present to the world that actually kind of confine you and don't leave a lot of space in your life. The other thing is just overcommitment. And I see this so much with Black women where they have maybe taken on some things that they really didn't want to do or weren't really moved to do, but maybe felt obligated. So just being over committed. And I see this so much for women who are experiencing a lot of stress. And for some reason, I don't know if it's just like how we're socialized as women, is sometimes we feel bad if we have to say no. And sometimes that can result in really being obligated or committing to things that we really don't want to do. And then the last thing is a fear of what can happen if I take time off, if I don't make this commitment, if I don't do this thing, what is going to happen to me or what's going to happen to other people around me. So these are just a few examples of why people feel like they can't take a break. So the next thing that I really want to touch on are the benefits of taking breaks. So as I talked about when I came, back to moving beyond burnout, was that I took a couple of weeks off just to, be able to have a pause, but also to have clarity. I think sometimes when we're able to take a pause or step away or not do what we are usually doing on a regular basis, we can have clarity about things, or we're able to see different aspects of our lives in a different way. And so being able to take a break, whether it's, taking time off, some people take career breaks, some people may also take breaks in terms of their commitments, or even just a break in the day, like literally having time where you're not filling up space with something to do, is that you can have clarity and you can have space. Your mind and body can just get a reset. Some of the other benefits of taking breaks are rest and rejuvenation. So I really love this movement right now that Black women are in. And I think honestly, a lot of people, even outside of Black women, are really recognizing why we need to rest. And in a world that constantly rewards us for doing more and being more and growing and all these different things, or expansion, sometimes we, are not encouraged to rest. And sometimes we can be rewarded if we're not resting and if we are booked and busy and doing all the things. But rest is so important. And it's not just, literally going to sleep, it's literally taking time away to rejuvenate and to relax. Those are some of the ways that I also define, rest. And so that's one of the other benefits. I think all of us can see the difference to when we get a good night's sleep and when we show up, well rested, to when we don't, right? And so there are huge differences with that. And then lastly, your body's capacity. There is really only so much that we can do, and our bodies will tell us that. Our minds will tell us that. It can be that migraine, it can be that tension in your shoulders, it can be literally getting sick, and your body needs a break, right? And so just thinking of how, a benefit of taking rest, of taking a break, is that your body can reset and that your body can be able to really handle what you're experiencing, or to be able to recover, if you've been stressed or burned out before. So different types of breaks. So one, I would say self-care breaks, whether that is literally doing something to take care of yourself in whatever way that looks like. So for me, a couple days a week, like probably towards the late afternoon, I just go for a walk for about an hour and a half. And that is something that I'm doing to take care of myself, but I'm also giving myself a break from all the things that I have to do. And there are various ways you can insert, self-care into a particular type of break. Some people go to retreats, some people are able to travel, some people have staycations. These are all ways that you can take a break for self-care. Commitments and obligations. So I've talked to so many people who said they stepped down from some stuff. They said, hey, I'm taking a break. I'm not joining any more boards. I'm not joining any more programs, or I am stepping down from an obligation or commitment that I've made. And that is a very valuable type of break that I think is really accessible for a lot of us, especially for those who have overcommitted. And also, time away is another type of break as well. Just literally taking time away. And I know everybody doesn't have PTO, everybody doesn't have sick time, everybody's not able to travel, but there is a benefit in taking intentional time away from your day to day life. And so being able to just take time away, whatever that looks like for you, and it doesn't have to be a long time. It could be a weekend, It could be, a 1 week day out of the month, whatever that looks like for you. Taking time away is probably one of the most um, normal types of breaks. And then, of course, naps, sleep, and spaciousness, having space in your day where you're not doing anything other than what you really want to do to refuel and to rest for yourself. So, spaciousness is just another, like, really, really big thing that I think everybody can build more spaciousness in their schedule. I don't know if you're like me, but if I have back to back things and meetings and all these things going on, it doesn't feel good. And having some spaciousness really helps. So, how taking breaks really helped me to find out what I needed most. So, as I said, your break can be your breakthrough. And that is what taking an extended break really did for me. I was able, I'll just be transparent with, like, building Sista Afya community care and then also having Sista Afya community mental wellness. I was moving in such a way that made it difficult for me to step away from my day to day work. And that had to do with overcommitting, that had to do with maybe not trusting people or delegating. And it kind of kept me just really, really, really confined. And I had the opportunity to take a break for 4 days. I was just gone 4 days. I went to Savannah, which is this wellness, like, facility and retreat in Arizona. Had never been to Arizona. I was so fascinated with the desert landscape. It was just beautiful. But what it forced me to do was to get clarity and to also recognize why I needed to do this. Oftentimes, when you're in service work, you're constantly putting people before yourself. And I had to sit and say, I deserve a break. I deserve to step away. I am giving, I am caring, loving other people. And this is how I need to care and love for myself. And it was taking time away. And having that space, I was able to not just relax, but to just do other things that I enjoy outside of being a workaholic, outside of doing so many different tasks and having so many different responsibilities. So that break really helped me to implement breaks moving forward. So every quarter, I try to take some form of a formal break, but then also in my day to day life, I build in rest and breaks throughout my schedule. So it's not just a time off occasion, but it's literally embedded into my everyday life. Even little notifications like on my phone, I have, the bedtime reminder. So when I get that bedtime reminder, okay, it's time to close the laptop. It's time to finish what you're doing and prepare for rest. So that is really how a break helped me to get clarity about what I needed, maybe how I needed to do things differently. And it helped me to see the benefits of life can go on if I just take some time away from myself. So that is pretty much what I wanted to talk about today, is just really how, us as Black women, and even if you're watching this and you don't identify as a Black woman, how breaks can lead to breakthroughs with our wellness and how it can help to really stop the cycle of burnout and to help to get us on the right track. Um, and then okay, I see some people on Instagram said, I'm at work right now, but I saw the title, Will This Be Saved? Yes. So on YouTube, LinkedIn, and on Instagram, I will upload this as a reel. So you will be able to see the full thing. And then also, I see somebody mention World Mental Health Day. Happy World Mental Health Day to everyone. I hope you are taking care of your mental health or just reflecting on your mental well-being. So this, is something that I think is a work in progress, but I believe it is key for us to have the breakthroughs that we need for our well-being and to be able to stop the cycle of burnout. So next, I have moved to a bi-weekly schedule. I realized that weekly was a little bit too much for me, But I will have a special guest the next time that I will be back for Moving Beyond Burnout. So we are in election season. We are in political times, chaotic times. And so I'm going to have a special guest, Cassie Walker. They are a Black activist, and they are going to be talking about, how to manage your well-being and how to conquer burnout, because so many people who are involved in politics and activism are really burnt out and can sometimes be discouraged to continue community organizing and continue just advocating and fighting for change because of how chaotic times are and just how to preserve our mental health. As Black activists, I think this is something that really isn't talked about enough. And throughout our history, as Black folks, we have always had to be active for our survival and to make a better life for us and the people after us. But we also need to prioritize well-being within that. We can still do impactful change work, but also not burn out and not take care of ourselves as we are trying to do things to transform our society. So Cassie, on October 24th, it'll be my second guest talking about how Black activists can conquer burnout in chaotic times. Please join this conversation, especially with what we're about to go into, because I don't know what's going to happen when we vote. I just don't know. And I think this will really help people. So as usual, join me Thursdays. I put every other Thursday. Yes, join me every other Thursday at 12 p.m. Central Time. If you're watching this video, please like it on all the platforms. Please share it with another person who you know who is really struggling to take a break and who is looking for practical ways to stop the cycle of burnout. And if you are on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. As I said, I'm trying to get to 300 subscribers by the end of the year. So just hit that subscribe button. You'll get updates, not just about Moving Beyond Burnout, but with all the wonderful things we are doing at Sista Afya. So thank you all so much for listening, for tuning in, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.